And I'm going to want to show them this one.
All right, perfect. Hey everybody, it's Marcia from Be So Creative, and today I am going to show you all how to use the grid, the printed grid iron-on interfacing to make pop squares into and make pretty much whatever you want. So let me grab what Becky gave you a teaser for. This is just a little bit of this is a sample that I made. I am working on the instructions, so I'll let you know as soon as I've got them written up and ready to go. But this is such a fun product, I have to tell you all. And so today it comes in yardage. And so, Becky, I've got just a piece here so you all can see it.
Well,
can we get close up, Becky? There we go. Can you all see?
On this
it's really
table.
hard. Let me see. I wonder if it would be better on our black, Becky.
Let's try.
Well.
See the grids?
Yes. Can you all see the grids on there? This is an iron-on, a fusible grid. They come in different sizes. This is the 2.5-inch grid. So for all of those little mini charms, the 2.5-inch mini charms that you can purchase, fit on here and make really cute things that, I don't know about you, but I love being able to use the mini charms because they are, the thing I like about them is they're already cut and it's the whole line of fabric and they're super cute. And guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to grab one. Hey Sandy, would you grab one of the little mini charms that's over on the buffet? I absolutely love using these things. So Sandy's going to grab one so I can show you all what I'm talking about when I say mini charms. You know, one of these days I'm going to have everything all together. And I'm really thankful that Becky and Sharon did not burst out into hysterical laughter with that little comment. Okay, this is a mini charm. 2.5-inch squares. When you rifle through them, they pretty much have, well, they do. They have all of the fabric that's offered in that fabric collection. So I love these little things because you get all these pretties and you get to use them and have fun with them. So the one that I use today, though, is the Midnight Magic Charm Pack. So the thing is, this is all the fabric that came with the Midnight Magic. We have some of the bolts, but we don't have all of the bolts. And so I just wanted to show you how we're going to use these guys because they're wonderful. They're easy to cut up and do what you need to do. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you all, and Becky, we're going to hope that this shows up here, is always, always, always measure your grid. Measure your grid. Because, you know, it says that it's 2.5-inch squares. And that is wonderful, but always make sure that they truly are a 2.5-inch square. So what we've done is I've got my handy dandy ruler and I'm going to pop this in here like so. And I'm between the lines, so as you can see, here I am up here on this line. I'm coming down the side and I'm going this way. And then here is the blue line, and you can just see it. So see, you can see I've got the blue line right there. So when we look at this, it is 2.5 inches this way, but it's slightly under 2.5 inches coming across this way. So what happens is, if I were to take my little charm square and lay it on there, do you see how it would actually hide this guy over here, this side over here? So let's see, Becky, there we go. There we go. So this is important, because what happens is these blue lines, you need to be able to see them, because this is where you are going to fold your fabric. And I have a whole nother little thing over here beside me here that I'm going to show you, and I made it to where you can actually see the blue lines, so I cut them a little bit smaller than the actual 2.5-inch square. So the thing is that the blue line is your guideline for when you lay your charms in the square, and then where you are actually going to fold that and sew it. So I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Now remember that the grid is fusible. So on one side, so see on this side, I've just got the clothy fabric. On this side, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but it actually is, it's got these little raised bumps of glue. And so you want to make sure that when you go to lay your things out, that the gluey side is up. And then these are just going to, you guys can see, I've trimmed my little squares. They're just going to lay inside my grid, just like this. And I have no issues. See, here's my background fabric. No issues. I can see all the way around my square, and that is going to be pretty critical when it comes time for me to sew and get this baby put together. So you're going to, if you're working with a charm pack, what I did was I just took, and I know you all have a good imagination. Let me get one that you're going to be able to see. So I just took my charm and I found my 2.5. So here's 1, 2.5. Maybe that wasn't the one. Maybe I should have stuck with my gray one, Becky. I don't know. All right, so here's my 1, 2.5. There it is. I would slice this, rotate it, slice it again, and that has given me all these great little 2.5-inch squares. If you don't need all of them, then you can save and just have one that is a rectangle that's 2.5 by 5 inches, and I like that too. So our little charm squares are really pretty user-friendly. So you can either have the 2.5-inch squares, or you can have your 2.5 by 5-inch rectangles, or if you really want to get fancy, you can have the 5-inch, and that gives us a lot of leeway. So you're going to trim them when you measure your squares, when you measure these, and if there is something that's a little off, then it's a lot easier, honestly, to come here with your rotary and slice off just a hair and then put it on, than to have to lay it all out and realize I can't see one blue line and then have to pick each one of them up and trim them up. So I hope that makes sense. If not, you all know where I am, and you are always able to give me a call and ask me questions about that. So anyway, so we're just going to say that what I've done is I've got them all laid out here, and I'm ready to lay them onto my grid. So let me move this. And Becky, if you want to back up, I'm going to hold this up.
No, you're good. Look.
Can you? Oh, good. You can see it. Perfect. All right. So, I've got everything. I've got my grid measured out here. Okay. So what I've done is for this one, I don't know if you all know this, but Boo is my sister's nickname, and so she's probably going to get this pillow, which I think will be super fun. So what we're going to do is, this is, it is an 8 by 13 grid. Okay, so 8 by 13. What I've done is, I lay it all out, and then you just start laying your pieces out. And you make sure that you don't have a bunch of blacks or reds or greens or whatever color you're using, that you don't have them all stacked up into one place. And then once you get them where you like them, then you're just going to take the iron and you're just going to iron them in place. And as you can see, now I made this a little bit exaggerated because I really want you to see those blue lines around. Can you all see those? Let me see. Where are we over here, Becky? There. Right, so see, here's the blue line. And it comes all the way around. You can see them all the way around each one of my squares. And I hope you all can see that, because this is critical. Because if you can't see your line, then that means you've got fabric overlapping, and it's a big mess. So once you can see everything, and like I said, if you have to, you got to trim. It's just the nature of the beast. You're going to trim and make sure, okay, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yes, I can see all the blue lines. I'm ready to roll. So then your next step is, I like to start in the middle. I don't know why, I just do. So what you're going to do is, now look how slick this just rolls over. Look at that. All right, Becky, let's give them a higher up view. All right, do you see? Look at how nice that folded over. I mean, that baby just rolled over. Now what I do at home is I take it and I give it a nice press, and then I'm going to do this. And I pin every one of them because I really don't want them walking. All right, and you guys get the idea. And then I go to my machine and I line my foot up and I sew 1/4 inch all the way down. Then, once I've done that, then okay, girls, I know you've got really good imagination, so we're going to pretend like I've already sewn that. So then what I do is I come to the next one and I roll it over. And again, look at how nice. I mean, that baby is just as flat as can be.
That's a good fold line.
It is an excellent fold line, Becky. You are exactly right. And I'm going to pin those just like normal. So here we go. We're pinning this. Again, why am I doing that? I don't want anything to walk or shift on me. I think that's pretty critical and important. Now, this is important. Have any of you ever made a strip quilt and you sewed in the same direction every time? Are y'all with me? And when you got done, one end was fanning out like this and the other is smaller. Have you ever, that ever happened to you? Becky's shaking her head, so I think it has at least happened to Becky. It has happened to me, but I have learned my lesson. I'm just telling you all. So anytime you're doing strips or even something like this, even though we are working on a fusible product that holds our stuff, we still need to be cognizant of the fact that stitching all in one direction, it doesn't lay well. And if you're going to take the time to do this, then I want you to have a great project when it's all said and done. So what I did, and I did this on the pillow and I'll do it on this one too. So let me show you. So remember the last one that we sewed over here, I started here. So Becky, let's show them here. If you can come up a little. There we go. I started here and I sewed this way. This is my next row. So now I'm pinning, so I've pinned here. I guess I should have gotten the sewing machine. It's not like we don't have them in this store, Becky. I just didn't think that, I think everybody's got this. Okay, so for the first row we sewed this way. This row I'm going to start at this end and I'm going to sew that way. And then the next one that we're doing, here he is, he's pulled over there. Look again, look how beautiful. I'm going to start down here and I'm sewing this way. And the next one, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to sew that way. And I'm going to do this all the way down both directions. I'm doing it both directions. And the nice thing is that when I get done, I do not have anything fanning out in a weird direction. It's nice and square because my pillow is nice and square, and this is exactly what I did with my pillow. So you're going to sew all the, let's just say you're going to sew all the vertical first go around, okay? Then before you start the next one, and you're going to, everywhere you've got your sewn line, everywhere you've got, let's see, Becky, let's show them here. Everywhere you have one of these little blue lines, you are going to clip down. Don't clip your stitches, but clip right down to your stitching all the way across here. The reason that you want to do that is you want to make sure that you are able to nest your seams together as you are sewing back this way. So see, these are going to be the next ones we come to. And when you sew that and you clip it, then you're able to nest those seam allowances together, and it makes it so easy to have that be nice and flat and give you a really great result.
Yeah, look at
Now,
this.
you know what? How about if we do this, Becky? Will you all let me take this pillow out of here and we'll turn it? Because I really want you to see this. Oh, this was pretty good.
Oh, good.
All right, so here we go. Let me turn this so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm getting it. Well, that's good enough. All right, so do you all see? Let's see, Becky. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, so what I did was there is a clip at every one of these little squares. And so as I sewed this direction first, from the top of my pumpkin to the bottom, and then I turned and went this way, and all the way back and forth. And then when I started coming this way, I was actually able to, I started in the center, and I always start in the center like I said, but look at this. Look at that. They nested together perfect. Look at that. I love that. So one direction, the seams were on the bottom were away from the foot. The next one, when I turned it up, the seams are going towards the foot, and the one that I could see was going down. But the thing is, this really, I can't tell you how easy this was to piece together. And, you know, I mean, I am really pleased with, let me turn this back around so you can see the actual squares from the outside. Here we go. Get the pin out of there. Now look at this. The thing that I absolutely love about the grid is this. Your corners line up like, I can't even tell you. Look at that. There we go. See, look at that. Oh my gosh. I mean, they are right on the money. How can we not like that? Honestly. Because, let's face it, when you are sewing a bunch of little squares together, that's probably the biggest challenge of all, is making sure that when you're sewing those rows together, that the rows and the corner points are coming together. And I mean, look at that. They just are in there, and they're perfect. And I have to tell you, I've not fought with, I've not fought with the little squares. I've not fought with seam allowances. It's just a really easy way to use these little squares and really come up with super cute projects that are easy to do. So that is how these work. Becky, how about if does anybody have any questions? And will this come up here, Becky, so we can see if they ask us questions?
Sure.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions on how these work? Any questions? Let's see. Okay, well, I think everybody's good. So anyway, I hope you guys like the explanation that I gave on how to use the printed grid fusible interfacing. Man, that's a mouthful. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be on the lookout for us on Saturday morning at 8:30 for our Facebook Live pajama party. And we will also, I'm not sure exactly which evening, but we're going to be showing you all the cute projects that will be made for our Kimber Bell Exclusives Club. So if you have any questions or you want to know about that, it's on our website, and also Carla has sent out information on that, and we would love to have you join Nicole for that really fun little club. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.